269 Aphorism Organon of Medicine. The homeopathic system of medicine develops for its special use in the 6th edition, to unheard of degree, the spirit like medicinal powers of the crude substances by means of a process peculiar to it, and which has until now never been tried, whereby only they all become immeasurably, penetratingly efficacious and remedial, even those that in the crude state give no evidence of the slightest medicinal power on the human body. This remarkable change in the qualities of natural bodies develop the latent, unperceived, as if slumbering, hidden dynamic powers which influence the life principle, change the well-being of animal life. This is effected by mechanical action upon their smallest particles by means of rubbing and shaking, and through the addition of an indifferent substance, dry or fluid, are separated from each other. This process is called dynamizing, potentizing, development of medicinal power, and the products are dynamizations or potencies in different degrees. Footnote 1. Long before this discovery of mine, experience had taught several changes which could be brought about in different natural substances by means of friction, for example, warmth, heat, fire, development of odor in odorless bodies, magnetization of steel, and so forth. But all these properties produced by friction were related only to physical and inanimate things, whereas it is a law of nature according to which physiological and pathogenic changes take place in the body's condition by means of forces capable of changing the crude material of drugs, even in such as had never shown any medicinal properties. This is brought about by trituration and succussion, but under the condition of employing an indifferent vehicle in certain proportions. This wonderful physical and specially physiological and pathogenic law of nature had not been discovered before my time. No wonder then that the present students of nature and physicians, so far unknowing, cannot have faith in the magical curative powers of the minute doses of medicines prepared according to homeopathic rules. Dynamized. Footnote 2. The same thing is seen in a bar of iron and steel, where a slumbering trace of latent magnetic force cannot be recognized in their interior. Both, after their completion by means of the forge, stand upright, repulse the north pole of a magnetic needles with the lower end and attract the south pole, while the upper end shows itself as the south pole of the magnetic needle. But this is only a latent force. Not even the finest iron particles can be drawn magnetically or held on either end of such a bar. Only after this bar of steel is dynamized, rubbing it with a dull file in one direction, will it become a true active powerful magnet, one able to attract iron and steel to itself and impact to another bar of steel by mere contact, and even some distance away magnetic power, and this in a higher degree the more it has been rubbed. In the same way, will triturating a medicinal substance and shaking of its solution, dynamization, potentization, develop the medicinal powers hidden within and manifest them more and more, or, if one may so, spiritualizes the material substance itself. Footnote 3. On this account, it refers only to the increase and stronger development of their power to cause changes in the health of animals and men, if these natural substances in this improved state are brought very near to the living sensitive fibre or come in contact with it by means of intake or olfaction, just as a magnetic bar, especially if its magnetic force is increased, dynamized, can show magnetic power only in a needle of steel whose pole is near or touches it. The steel itself remains unchanged in the remaining chemical and physical properties and can bring about no changes in other metals. For instance, in brass, just as little as dynamized medicines can have any action upon lifeless things. Footnote 4. We hear daily how homeopathic medicinal potencies are called mere dilutions when they are the very opposite, that is, a true opening up of the natural substances, bringing to light and revealing the hidden specific medicinal powers contained within and brought forth by rubbing and shaking. The aid of a chosen unmedicinal medium of attenuation is but a secondary condition. Simple dilution, for instance, the solution of a grain of salt will become water, the grain of salt will disappear in the dilutions with much water and will never develop into medicinal salt, which by means of our well prepared dynamization is raised to most marvelous power.